release the Epstein files. That is the demand coming from the top House Democrat. Tonight, Hakeem Jeffries joining MAGA Voices, saying that the American public deserves to know the truth. And Jeffries offered up two explanations as to why he believes the administration may be involved in some sort of a cover-up.
Option one, they lied for years. Option two, they're engaging in a cover-up. At this point, it seems reasonable that can only be one of the two things. And so it's Congress's responsibility in a bipartisan way to ask the questions and try to get answers on behalf of the American people.
Again, that is the top Democrat in the U.S. House of Representatives. It is obviously an incredibly rare thing. This might be, in fact, the only time that he's been on the same page as some of the biggest names in the MAGA universe.
Coming out and saying there is no Epstein list, and so forget about it after promising to release all the Epstein information. It's just flip-flopping in 180s.
The unholy alliance, Hakeem Jeffries and Alex Jones. That's Alex Jones today, who then posted that, quote, evil forces are afoot. And then there's Laura Loomer, who's telling Politico that she is now calling for a special counsel. The quote is, so that people can feel like this issue is being investigated and perhaps take it out of Bondi's hands, because I don't think she has been transparent or done a good job handling the issue. Well, look, the war over Epstein is one of the biggest rifts between Trump and his most loyal and powerful reporters that we've seen. And Trump right now has taken a clear side, which is not releasing information. This image says it all. Trump invited the Attorney General Pam Bondi to the FIFA World Cup finale over the weekend. As you can see, he appears to be giving a thumbs up to her. He brought her there. That's really what the picture that says 1,000 words. Bondi, of course, is the same person who said that the Epstein client list was on her desk nearly 5 months ago, and now says there was actually no list and there's nothing to see. Meantime, Trump's deputy FBI director has taken a stand over the handling of the files. Trump acknowledging the civil war that's erupted inside his inner MAGA base, but making it clear that base, while at the same time he's trying to keep the pressure off of his attorney general. He posted, "What's on with my boys and in some cases gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job." But of course, when it comes to Trump's boys and gals who are on the opposite side of Bondi on this, they say they want to know the truth when it comes to Epstein, to just release any information. And after all, it all comes down to this, just to remind everybody, Jeffrey Epstein, who you see on the screen, was arrested on federal charges of sex trafficking minors. Let's just say it the other way, underage girls. That same year, officials say he died by suicide in his solitary confinement prison cell while awaiting trial. And since then, more and more details of Epstein's alleged activities have come out, and they are disturbing, including allegedly luring underage girls to his homes where he sexually abused them. Now, while he died before he went to trial, his partner in crime, Ghislaine Maxwell, is currently serving a 20-year sentence after being found guilty of sex trafficking. And Epstein had hundreds of millions of dollars of money he was ostensibly managing for really rich and powerful people. There's a lot we do not know about him. We do know, though, that he was friends with a lot of rich and famous people, including President Trump and former President Clinton, and a whole bunch of other billionaires. Now, none of them have been accused of wrongdoing. But given that Epstein was able to carry out these alleged crimes for so many years, Trump should be the one pounding the table, put out the information, make sure something like this never happens again in the United States. But right now, he's not.
Are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
Well, Trump says he wants to move on now to end the war that's dividing his base and now getting Democrats on board, too. But there are still many with very serious and important questions. And Kristen Holmes is out front live at the White House to begin our coverage. And Kristen, you've got some new reporting tonight on what Trump is doing. I mean, there's a split between the Department of Justice, his attorney general, and his deputy FBI director. I mean, this is meaningful even in the Trump inner circle. What are you learning?
Yeah, and just to be clear here, we talked a lot about the Deputy FBI Director, Dan Bongino, but it's also been a rift between the FBI Director, Kash Patel, and Pam Bondi as well. Both of them, Patel and Bongino, have been unhappy, complaining privately about the way that Bondi handled the Epstein files, the Epstein case in general, and particularly the rollout. And that was something we heard across the board. Even some of Donald Trump's closest advisors were upset with Bondi. But when you talk to the president himself, sources say that he is supporting Bondi 100%. And part of the issue here, though, is this idea that President Trump doesn't want it to look as though his administration is falling apart over this issue. And that's why you saw over the weekend Vice President J.D. Vance spending an enormous amount of time talking to Dan Bongino, to Kash Patel, to Pam Bondi, to playing some kind of role as peacemaker to try and diffuse the situation. And we heard that Dan Bongino, who did not go to work on Friday because he was really protesting Bondi's handling of this, they had a blow up on Wednesday in the White House, that he did show up for work on Monday. Now, his future is uncertain. There is a general belief that he is not long for this world amid the administration. He himself has said that he doesn't actually like this job, but President Trump wants it to be on different terms, not him leaving because he's angry about the Bondi rollout. And this, now we see what the next steps are. Is the administration going to respond to any of this calling from the MAGA base to release more information? Right now, it seems unlikely.
All right, Kristen, thank you very much at the White House tonight. Out front now, Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin, the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, I appreciate your time. I know that you have been clear where you stand on this. You have said Trump should release all of the Epstein files and put an end to this, to use your words exactly. Then the DOJ comes out with this memo saying there's no client list. Epstein wasn't murdered. We're all good here. Let's move along. Why don't you believe them?
Well, for one thing, the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, said that the client list was on her desk. Then you had Donald Trump in a tweet or in a Truth Social missive saying that all of these files were actually created by the Democrats, thereby decisively implying that the files actually exist. And of course, Trump and Bondi and J.D. Vance and the FBI Director Kash Patel, all of them were demanding that the government release everything that they had on it. And suddenly the president performs a complete about-face on the matter and says that there's nothing to see here and let's move on, and wants to sweep it under the rug. And so, look, I have no idea what's in those files. I do know that this case has been mishandled from the very beginning. Donald Trump's former labor secretary, Mr. Acosta, was the assistant U.S. attorney when they gave Mr. Epstein a very sweetheart deal where he pled guilty to one charge of solicitation when they had all of these underage female witnesses testifying about his basically trafficking in girls. So, it's been very weird from the beginning, but I don't know what's in their files. So either we're going to confirm everything that Donald Trump and his team have been saying all along, which is that there is this extensive child sex trafficking ring among power elites, or it will explode the whole thing as a conspiracy theory and mere propaganda. But at this point, the president owes it to the country to put it to rest one way or the other.
Well, of course, as you pointed out, not just what Epstein had been convicted for, but what he was on trial for. I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell is serving 20 years just for aiding and abetting one part of that. The crimes here are horrific, and if anyone else was aware or involved, the American public should know. In fact, the MAGA faithful, as you point out, have been pounding on the table on this, calling for it repeatedly. Here are a few of the biggest names.
How is it that my father can be convicted of 34 crimes, but no one on Epstein's list has even been brought to light?
Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
What the hell are they hiding with Jeffrey Epstein?
I mean, it's the president's son, it's the head of the FBI, it's the deputy head of the FBI now. I mean, those are the three people making those statements. I mean, I guess I'm trying to understand. It would make sense, wouldn't it, that Trump would want to release this, if not just to assuage his base. I mean, why not put something out there if it exists?
Well, he was with them in demanding that these materials be released to the public. And now all of the questions that his son was asking and that Kash Patel was asking and Dan Bongino were asking are now directed at Donald Trump himself and at Attorney General Bondi. They want to know why, now that you have the reins of the government, you're not just going public with it. And so, look, at this point, I think the president has helped to spin large parts of the country into an absolute paranoid tizzy about all of this. Again, we don't know what's there and what's not there, but we need to resolve it. It's kind of getting to be an ungovernable situation, and the president should go ahead and release whatever they do know about whether there are outstanding sex abusers out there who have not been picked up for the crime.